Hold on tight, Ben Affleck just revealed something that could flip the entire Diddy trial. Could this be the twist that changes everything? Let's break it down.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. He is very eager to tell his story.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia.
His reputation is over.
The United States government, they start making this case as a takedown of a successful black.
They're going to show that video over and over and over about what happens to women that won't change their story.
Ben Affleck's statement to authorities might shake up the Diddy trial. What did he reveal, and how could it impact not only Diddy, but also Jennifer Lopez? Let's dive in.
Everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that, but Diddy said she was perfect.
Affleck's testimony has given Diddy's legal team a possible advantage. He's been denied bail twice, but this new information might be a game changer, and Diddy's powerhouse attorney Alexandra Shapiro is on it.
Diddy is not giving up, even before he gets to the trial, he is not giving up on trying to get out of jail. You know that he has been turned down twice to get out on bail, and he is being held in Brooklyn and will be there until the trial begins.
Unless he appeals and an appeals court says the judge was wrong, they allowed him to post bail, which is exactly what they are going to try and do.
Right, and he has brought in new lawyers to try and get this done. Get to the lawyers in a second. I just don't know how has the argument changed?
The problem is this, that
The same things that the judge said before.
there's a legal standard when you appeal something like this. And the legal standard is, did the judge abuse his discretion? Because ultimately, this is a discretionary thing.
But the drama doesn't stop there. Jennifer Lopez is facing questions about her past with Diddy, and sources say her marriage to Ben is under strain. Could their relationship survive this?
Ben Affleck are no strangers to rumors. Recently, there's much buzz about the couple's marriage being on the rocks. They're also subject of the new special TMZ investigates J-Lo and Ben missed warning signs. Well, joining us this morning is TMZ's Harvey Levin. We're going to clear it out and get right to the facts. So, Harvey, as soon as Bennifer 2.0 loaded, it seems it imploded just as fast. What happened with these two?
Well, I mean, a lot happened, but, you know, Tashani, what I find really interesting about this is, you know, we talked to a bunch of people. They saw this coming like a freight train for a whole bunch of reasons. Everybody knows Ben has a substance abuse problem, and he is an addict. But the people we spoke to also said that Jennifer Lopez is an addict, not substance abuse. She is a love addict. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually a thing, that she falls fast and hard for people. And she usually gets engaged, or she has gotten engaged just months after getting involved with somebody. And when it ends, there is no alone time. She's a recipe for disaster. When it comes to maintaining a relationship, you need this kind of alone time. The other thing is, and you know, this sounds superficial, but it's real. He hates publicity, Ben Affleck, and she loves it like a moth is driven to a flame. And this is what torpedoed their first relationship, or at least one of the reasons, according to them. And yet they repeated this a second time, going on this kind of love tour. And when he looks miserable, a lot of the people we talked to said he actually is miserable.
Yeah, my Boston brethren, every time we saw him, he had a frown on his face. But we want to get to some sound right now, Harvey. Let's go there real quick.
Diddy's case is getting bigger, with more witnesses lined up to testify. There's even talk of new evidence that could change everything. Videos from his infamous parties. Could this be the breakthrough?
Into the debrief and the very latest on Sean Diddy Combs' arrest on sex trafficking crimes. TMZ is reporting that at least 2 new people plan to cooperate with the feds, and they're willing to testify in front of the grand jury.
All right, joining us now with the details, Charles Latibaudier, TMZ executive producer. Charles, thanks so much for being here with us. Obviously, it's been a very busy week in this case. What's the latest with the investigation?
Yes, Steve and Bianca, as U.S. Attorney Damian Williams promised earlier this week, he said this is an ongoing investigation and that they will be speaking to more people. We found out that he's in there, and what we've been told by a former warden is he's a target. That's the fact of the matter, and that's why they have him in a solitary part of the jail, because they don't, he becomes a target because it's like what we've been told, it's like a badge of honor that if you were able to inflict some violence on Diddy, that gets you score points with other inmates. So that's a situation that obviously the jail officials do not want to happen, so they're going out of the way to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's because they've been a nice little blended family. They developed this relationship. What happens to them now? Do you think they'll be able to maintain that closeness?
That's, we get into that a lot in this. It is really tough on any kids involved in divorce. But if you think about it, these kids on both sides have already been involved in one divorce, and in J-Lo's case, more than one. And then, in terms of relationships. And, now they blended and they're kind of broken apart. So, theoretically, yeah, they've gotten close.
Will Ben Affleck's testimony turn things around for Diddy? And what about J-Lo and Ben? Can their marriage handle the pressure? Stay tuned to Fame Radar for the latest updates.
But they are going to lead separate lives. I mean, look, they're getting divorced. They're selling the family house. He's moved out. We know she is looking for her own home. So do they maintain a relationship? It's possible, but they are going to be in separate orbits eventually, because all signs here are this marriage is over.
And now she gave him a very special Happy Father's Day shout out, calling Ben their hero. I mean, no one's pulled the plug yet, Harvey. Is it safe to say that it's possible they could get things back on track?
Yeah, I mean, Trishani, anything is possible, but again, they have put their home on the market. He is now separately working with a realtor in Beverly Hills looking for her own home. That's not the sign of two people who are going to try and reconcile. And it's just not what we're hearing. So, I know a lot of people were rooting for this, and that itself might be a problem, because what happens is that when you've got two big stars and you've got the world kind of rooting for this fantasy, they buy into it, and if it doesn't work, they feel still that need to hold it together. It just hasn't worked. And we get into that in some detail in the Hulu documentary that dropped.
Chance to watch it actually yesterday ahead of this interview, and the whole time, Harvey, I was like, ooh. So it's certainly worth watching. Why don't you let the people out there know how they can watch it?
It is on Hulu. It dropped today. It is called J-Lo and Ben Missed Warning Signs. And you will hear from a lot of people who know a whole lot in this area, including the person you just mentioned, John Peters, one of the most successful producers in Hollywood, who actually put J-Lo in one of her first movies.